Right, so I have a ton of new iPhone 14 tidbits for you guys regarding demand for these products, dimensions, mass production, and also cases for these devices that are already available to buy. So without further ado, let's delve into this. So let's actually begin with these cases because Mijinbu tells us in China there's already a plethora of fake cases available for the 14 series, including these cases that are very similar to the official silicon cases that Apple sells. I do think the arrival of these fake cases clearly means that all the models and CADs we've seen are legit, and these are definitely the final designs and sizes for these new iPhones. And actually, Duanri, another Chinese source, gave us another model of the iPhone 14 Pro series, and this corroborates with every other leak. So yes, we have a dual hole punch front, and also the much bigger camera bump. And in case you're wondering about the exact numbers and dimensions of these new iPhones, we have a schematic leak for the 14 Pro Max, and this gives us an idea of just that. So comparing the 14 Pro Max to the 13 Pro Max, the 14 Pro Max is going to be 7.85mm thick compared to 7.65, so that's a pretty sizable increase. And yes, I do hope that means we're seeing a battery increase with the Pro Max. I know the 13 Pro Max already has great battery life, but improving upon that would be pretty great. Anyways, the news does get worse though, because while the 13 Pro Max is going to be shorter, it's also getting wider, which I'm not looking forward to because the 13 Pro Max already feels too wide. I would appreciate a narrower device, but also there's been a plethora of reports from very credible sources telling us the 14 Pros is going to be taller because that new dual hole punch is going to take up more space, and so to not lose real estate, Apple was allegedly making the phone taller, but of course, according to the schematic, that's not going to be the case. Anyways, regarding the actual camera bump, we are going to see a pretty massive increase. It's going to be 4.17mm instead of 3.6 on the 13 Pro Max, and so that's a 16% increase, and again, I'm not looking forward to that. Because I do already find the 13 Pro Max camera bump to be quite massive, and sticks out by quite a bit, and so I am a little iffy about it getting even bigger, but of course, I guess that is a compromise we have to make to get a much better camera experience with the 48MP main sensor. Also want to mention that with the schematics, there is a change with the antennas, and so that could be pointing towards two things. Number one, Wi-Fi 6E, which of course, many Android phones already implement, but number two, this antenna upgrade could be pointing towards satellite connectivity. Now this was rumored to come with the 13 series, but if we do get this could be a game changer because if you're in danger and there's no cell service, you can text and call people via satellite connectivity and of course, possibly save your life. And so yeah, this is going to be a big feature for these new iPhones, and I do hope this materializes. Anyways, let's now move on to the demand for the 14 series. So there's been tons of reports regarding the demand being pretty strong for these devices, and now we have another report from Sina Finance basically corroborating with that and saying that yes, 14 demand is going to be stronger than the 13 series, which is already pretty good. Since the report does mention that the 13 series has shown no signs of slowdown, which is pretty surprising because during this period, iPhone sales do slow down since many are waiting for the new models, but that's not been the case with the 13 series. Demand is still very good in countries like China, so of course, iPhone 14 should continue that momentum. Now there is one analyst telling us that's not going to be the case, and he says it's due to the weak economy and of course, inflation causing consumers to have less disposable income, and that definitely is the case, but of course, with the 13 series doing so well during this period, I don't think there's going to be a huge effect, especially since of course, there are many trade-in promos for these devices and also monthly plans, and so I doubt many consumers are going to be paying full price for these new iPhones. So yes, personally I think 14 demand is going to be strong because the Pro models are giving us a bevy of upgrades, the main one being the new pill chip cutout on the front. That's a massive change that I'm sure many are going to appreciate, but also the regular Max should be very popular because this will be the first Max iPhone Apple sells under $1,000. And actually, regarding the Max, Ross Young does tell us iPhone 14 Max panel shipments are lagging far behind the Pro Max, and he says that supply volumes for the Pro Max is 3 times higher than the regular Max. Now that does worry me because while there have been reports regarding no delays, this definitely does suggest that maybe the 14 Max is going to release a little later than the rest of the range. And this has kind of always been the case when it comes to new size options, and so yeah, I'm pretty gutted about that because I am considering getting the 14 Max, but if there is a massive delay, me being the impatient person I am, I think I might just settle for the 14 Pro Max and get that on day one. But hey, let's hope that Apple does release all the iPhone 14 models on time for a September release. Anyways, mass production, according to some sources, begins in August. That makes sense. And also panel shipments are predicted to be 80 million in Q3 for the 14 series. That's a massive amount of phones, and I personally do think the demand is going to be there because, as I said, the Pro refresh is pretty massive, and also the 14 Max is going to be a very popular device, since in the past Max devices have been popular for the size and the battery life, and so giving us those features at a low price is obviously going to massively boost sales. Anyways, let's now delve into your thoughts regarding these new iPhones. Sam's curious about the zooming tech on the 14 Pros, since the 3 times telephoto is a joke, especially compared to the other Android phones, and unfortunately there's been nothing regarding telephoto upgrades. You're gonna have to wait for the 15 series with the periscope zoom tech, but this year's gonna be focused with the main sensor and of course the megapixel increase. But yes, I completely agree that Apple does need to catch up in this aspect. They are far behind, so of course I'm praying the rumors regarding the 15 series getting the periscope zoom does end up being right. Anyways, tell me your thoughts regarding these various reports in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the above on details regarding the M2 iPad Pros, and on that note, see ya peeps.